So let's try that first. I am going to see, Ariel, if I'll make you a co-host. If you get a second, I'm having trouble getting the
Hey,
team. Hi. The team have the link, but they're getting a message that says that they can't get in, and I
oh,
don't
okay.
know
I see them.
why.
So I'm admitting them all now. What I've been having trouble with in Teams, I mean, in Zoom lately, is if I have like the chat open, it won't show anything else.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes you might just have to close the chat for a minute, go back to participants, let them in, then open up the chat. I don't know why Zoom decided to do that, but they did.
Okay. All
So they
right.
should be let in now. I'll keep an eye on anyone in the waiting room.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's
Yep.
always a team effort. So you should have an option for the wordly translation to translate what I'm saying into Spanish. Um, I could do some of this in Spanish, but I don't know that I could do all of it in Spanish. So I am going to share that with you and see if, Odalis, you can make the translation from my speaking to the Spanish. Did we lose it? Whatever I say in English should translate.
Yes,
Um,
I am Spanish, please.
okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Let's see. Okay, so that did work for you. Well, let me see, Yanette, if I can, what I just did. I don't know what I just did. Hold on. Um, Here, I'm going to try with you too. This is new, so we're going to try and see how this works. Let's see if that works. Okay. Oops. Okay. Did that work? Did it give you the option to change your language to Spanish? You'll still hear my words in English, but you'll be able to read it in Spanish. Yep. Okay. Okay, so we wanted to, I am recording and we will post this on our YouTube channel afterwards and we'll send out some links. But I wanted to kind of go over a couple of things that we're seeing. And then, like I said, this is really for your questions. So we want to make sure that if you have questions, you can either, the easiest way is to put them in the chat if you can, and then we can read them out for everybody and give you the answer. But if you have to come off mute and do it that way, we can do it too. So I wanted to point out just a couple of things. When you're going into the new registry account, you have staff, and if you haven't made your account yet, you want to be very careful with how you type in your email address. You can, if you mistype your email, it won't let you back into the system. And we've had a couple of people then go in and create a different account. So they maybe mistype their email, they put an extra letter, and now instead of calling us and saying, "Hey, I can't get in, my email's not working," they're making a whole nother account. You don't have to make a whole nother account. If you'll just give us a call or send us an email, we can correct your email. We can fix your login information so that you can get into that same account. So we don't have duplicates there in our system. Um, so if you need to reach out to the team, our phone number is 561-214-8000. If you select 2 for provider services and then number 5 for the CSC Star support team, you'll get right to that team. We do have team members that speak Spanish as well as English and Creole. So we can help you with that. If you need to send an email, you can send an email in English or Spanish. Our email address is, I'll put it in the chat. This is going to go to everybody. It is cscstar.award at elcpalmbeach.org. So that's the team's email address. If you need to have a question about something, they are more than happy to respond to that email address. So that's probably the first thing. So if you're not able to get in, you think maybe you misspelled something, you've been trying, it's not letting you in, then you can reach out to us, and we will correct your email address and get that to you. So, all right, I'm going to try and I keep forgetting how I do this. Okay, so I'm going to send you the Wordly. No, this go here. Oop, there we go. I know what I did. Nope, that is not what I did. Okay, let me figure that out. Hold on one sec. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to remind you of was that if you did have an old registry account, when you created your new account, the only thing that was imported was items that were already verified. So if you had the old registry, those educational credentials were verified in the old registry, then that is the verified information is what's coming over to the new system. That means that if you had work history in the old system, that did not come over. And we want you to add your previous work history. There are 2 awards based on longevity. So I want you to be able to get those awards. And the only way to do that is to add your previous work in the childcare community onto your account. So to be able to do that, there is a spot for previous work history. You want to add that information. And then the documentation that we're looking for that is your DCF background screening that shows you worked at a site. If that you can ask your current employer to give you a copy of that, and it should show your previous employment at those sites at the bottom. If that doesn't work, when you get hired at a site, you fill out a 5-year history record check when you do your employment. If you give us that document, those 2 pages, that will work as verification of your previous work history. So we see a lot of people sort of skipping that previous work history and not taking the time to put that information in. But if you have those years of experience, it actually will increase your award. So we want to have that work experience. Do you have any questions about any of those things? And I see, sorry, I've forgotten how to. Here. No. There we go. Hold on. I have too many tabs open here. Hold on. I did that last time. I was told the background was the only way to verify, which the DCF background history record or we need both pages of the 5-year record employment history check. So you should have been able to give either one. If we did not allow for that, but the second page of the DCF, the 5-year history check, needs to be completed. So your employer should have made calls to those previous work sites and then verified that you did, had that verification there.
Okay, so I did have the verification there. The thing is, when I looked at the background screening on the DCF thing, it didn't have the job on there, but I did work for that job. So I don't know why the job wasn't on there for the last 5 years. I have no idea, because even one of my teachers at the job, some of their jobs is not on there, even though they've been in different child cares for 5 years. Like one just left us, and the job that she was at was not on her, because they switched over ownership, and that job was not on her DCF background.
That's entirely possible. It has to do with the DCF roster when you're at the site and you're you're hiring your staff, you're supposed to place them on your roster when you do the background screening. And if they don't do that the whole way, then that history won't come up. But because we know that can happen, we would then want that 5-year history record handwritten form that you do for the new employer, which would list those other locations. And then the director or the HR person's job is to call those spots and verify that you work there. And obviously, if a site's closed, we may not be able to get all the verification, but either one of those forms will work.
Okay, so how do you verify a job? Because I used to work at Early Learning Academy off of Lantana, and it's not on my DCF, but it is on my records showing that I did work there. And I did call them to ask, the owners to verify, but I guess the owners refused to verify. So how do we go about that if the owner refused to verify that we used to work there?
So the owner's not going to be able to verify previous employment in this system. So
Okay.
when you got hired at your new job and you did your DCF 5-year history record, did you have that job listed on there?
Yeah, the job was listed. The job,
Okay.
I worked that job, but the job wasn't listed on a DCF thing because I had to pay for my own background check, which is I provided them with the information. But once I left there and I looked at my new background check, it was not on there at all. So even though I worked in childcare in 2021, I started and whatever, but that I have no history on my DCF background.
That's what I'm saying is that if the background screening, the DCF clearinghouse doesn't have the history, you can take from your employee file the handwritten 5-year history that you completed when you got the new job and send us that 2-page document.
Okay, thank you.
That will serve the same, right? Because I know that some people don't always do the clearinghouse the right way. So we'll take that other form.
Okay, so we could upload both documents to show proof for all employment. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So again, like I said, we'll take either or, and we want to show that you've been in the industry longer because that increases your award amount. So if you are struggling with that, please don't give up. Please reach out to us and let us know that you aren't you're struggling to get the right documentation to be able to give that to us, and let us work through a way to help you do that. Okay. Everybody keeps putting their email in the chat, and I'm not sure, is it because you want me to send you something? There are no certificates or anything for this. This is merely an informational session. Or if you need me to send you the Wordly link so you can open it in Spanish or another language, I don't quite know. But anyway, I see a lot of emails coming across, so I'm not exactly sure why. All right, I may not be able to answer that question. Okay, so that's probably the biggest thing, right? We need your previous employment history, and we can take the DCF fingerprint results letter if that has your history on it, or we can take the handwritten DCF. It's a licensing form that you do that you write in your 5 years of employment history. Again, please reach out to us if you're struggling with that piece. The other piece is the education, right? So the more education you have, the higher your award amount will be. And we notice some people are putting in just sort of the bare minimum of the educational classes that they've taken. And I realize it's a process. If you are not a member of the previous registry, then you may have to pull out some certificates and make some scans and do that work. So please take the time to do that. Again, it will increase your award. We'll be putting out I can share that. Hold on one sec. The award is based on 4 categories. So the more the longer work experience you have and the more education and training, the higher your award amount will be. But if you don't put your previous training in the system can't calculate and give you credit for having those trainings. We take all kinds of training, so any DCF classes that you may have taken, any classes from us at the Early Learning Coalition, Palm Beach State College classes, anything you've taken for your curriculum, anything you've taken for accreditation, anything you may have taken, what else do we take? Flamingo, if you've done any of the Flamingo classes, all of that counts towards your award, and you may be looking at hours to increase your award amount. So you want to be able to, you want to do that so that we get credit. We are going back 5 years on your training history. So, I'm sorry, 10 years. I apologize. I'm doing two things at the same time. We're going back 10 years on your training history. So take the time to upload those training documents, those training certificates, so that we can count those towards your award. I wanted to show, let's see if it'll work. I got a lot of things open. Oops, it won't let me minimize this. Did I have any questions on that? Oh, I guess I can't. What happened? I don't have the option to share anymore. Oh, I do. Here it is. Here. Okay. So this is the breakdown of our award. You can see that if the longer you're working in the field, the higher the award amount is. The longer you've worked at your current employer, the higher the award amount. Your class score, as that goes up, that also increases your award amount. And then your educational training. So 45 hours is $200, but as you've worked in the industry longer and have taken more classes, that increases your award amount. Please know that you're also eligible for Seek Scholarship. And if you're interested in going back to school and would like to use Seek to do that, once you've finished those classes, that will in turn increase your award amount as well. So it all ties together. All right. This is available on our website, elcpalmbeach.org. We have a section under providers for CSC Star. All of the getting started documents are there, as well as this breakdown. But we take, like I said, we take all kinds of classes. So if you've done, you have to do 10 hours every year for DCF for your in-service classes. If you've done extra training as part of Teachstone, if you've done training for your curriculum implementation, if you've done anything along those lines. Okay. Let me see. I have a couple questions. Good questions. All right. So for the longevity related to working a minimum of 1 year, can you still apply for class? Yes. So you can. It is 4 categories, but if you don't hit something in all 4 categories, you would just get the category that you're eligible for. So if you have someone who has a class score but hasn't worked in the field for a year, they could still get the award for the class score and not the other items. Right now, a master's degree is any, if you had a master's degree in a related field, it would go to bachelor's degree or higher in related field, or bachelor's degree or higher, sorry, with 24 credits in ECE. We don't have a specific award item for a master's degree, so it really depends on what the master's degree is in. Whether it be in a related field, and we do have a breakdown of what are considered related fields, or if you've done a master's degree in another field but have 24 hours in ECE credits. So this award is for educators who are working in the classroom. So we are looking to award this to people who are working in the classroom with children ages 0 to 5. So if your position has changed to an administrative position, unfortunately, no, you would not be eligible for this award. So you do have to show that you're in the classroom. Let's see, I'll make sure I get all my So if you're a director or an owner and you're working in the classroom, then this would be available to you, but you do have to meet the income requirements, which is $25 an hour or less as your income. So you would have to show that. Um, Jennifer, hold on one second. This is a little weird that I got two Jennifer Tolas, so you're both going to get Spanish. So yes, so you can qualify for the award if you're a director or an owner. It would be because you are working with children, and you would need to meet the income requirements, which would be giving us a paycheck stub, showing that's what you get paid by the business. Okay. The other thing that we are seeing sometimes is people submit an award and maybe they've had a class assessment. We are going back 2 years on class assessment. So if you've been assessed within the last 2 years, whether it be at your current job or a previous job, you should still get credit for that assessment, or it should still show up on your award. If it doesn't, we are going to have a way in the system that you can submit a request. But right now, please reach out to our support staff so that we can research, because there could be a couple things going on. In the background as to why that assessment is not matching up to your application. So we do have a process coming out soon that will allow you to submit a digital request. But in the meantime, if you've been assessed within the last 2 years, and it would be the most recent assessment, it does not have to be from your current employer. So if you've changed jobs and you had an assessment last year at your previous job, we want to link that to your account. So if that's not showing, please let me know or let the team know so that they can do the research and get it linked up for you. Yes. So thank you, Nicole. Those are good questions. So Nicole says, can you explain the process for those who apply for the award every 6 months? So the way that the staff, the class CSC Star Award, I'm sorry, there's too many words. I'm just not focused well today. The way that the CSC Star Award works is that it is able to be applied for every 6 months. So every 6 months from the date of your approval. So if you were approved last summer, for your Star Award, you will be getting an email that says you can apply again for now that it's been 6 months and get another award amount. It is all 4 categories. So if something has changed, if previously you were at your site for 4 years, but now you've become 5 years. I'm sorry, that's not the right one. So if before you had been in the field for 4 years, but now after 6 months, now you've hit your 5-year anniversary, that will increase your award. So what was $250 now becomes $350 because you've moved up. If you've taken more classes and you add them in, and that increases your award because now you've had additional hours. If you haven't had another class score, then you will get the same bonus for the class score that you had, same award amount. If you don't do anything, if nothing's changed and you're sort of in the middle of everything, you've not gone up in how many years in your current program, you've not changed categories for your years of experience, you haven't done any training, you would get the exact same award amount that you got the first time around. So you would get that twice every 6 months, that same amount if you make no changes. So as long as you stay employed at the same site and you submit an application, you would get the same award amount again in 6 months. You're welcome. I'm glad that makes sense. So yes, so right now we do have the system set up that you will get an email that reminds you that your 6-month period has reopened, that you're able to go back into the system and apply. We're seeing many people being able to do that already. We've had quite a few applications already come in. So there is an email. So there is an email reminder that will go out to you. Jennifer. And if you don't get the email, when you go to log into the system, it won't let you submit another application. So it does need that 6 months to go by. Now, if something happens and your email has changed, or you no longer have access to the email account that you used initially, please don't create another account. Please reach out to us so that we can update your email address so that you'll get the notice for the new eligibility period. Okay. You can still, yes. So if you are a person who has not had a class assessment, then the other categories do apply to you, and you can still get the award for your longevity in the field, your longevity at the same program, and your level of education. The STAR or the class assessment just kind of goes on top of that. So if you don't have that, that's okay. We do have, in addition to being able to submit a request online, we actually will be offering the ability to request that your classroom get assessed because the school readiness contract that your employer is involved in does not require every classroom to have a class assessment. So your class may not have gotten one. And should you want one, we will have the ability in the system coming up in a little while for you to be able to request that assessment. So it's not there yet, but we're getting there. So we hired a new person and observed it. So yes, a new person, Jamie, would absolutely be eligible for all of the other categories. Janet, if I submit an application, but it still hasn't cleared, what happens? If we're still reviewing, Janet, we will take a look at that. I will have to see, we have applications coming in every day. If this is your new application, then we will take a look and see where it stands. Your 6-month period starts as of the date your application is approved. So if you get approved tomorrow or Monday, then it would be 6 months from that date. Okay. Good questions. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. What other questions do you have? Jennifer, you came off mute. Did you have a question? I muted you again. I'm sorry. All right. Anything from the team that you want to make sure we talk about? This meeting is for you guys. So if you have questions, those were my big things to remind you of. But if there's something that you want that I didn't address, please let me know.
I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi.
So, hi, how are you?
Good.
I have a question. Like, so for the award again, do we have to submit another application or it's the same one, like it will be automatically every 6 months?
So you would have to submit another application because we need to verify that you're still employed at the same spot. So with the resubmission, you would have to give us a recent paycheck stub showing that your income is the same and that you're still employed. Verify that your address is the same for the W-9 and that you want the payment sent the same way, right? Because sometimes people now want it sent to a bank account or they change that bank account. So those 3 areas open at the 6-month window, and you would have to submit that information and then submit the application to us. If nothing else has changed, then you would get the same payment as the first application. But if you've had a new class assessment or you took some additional classes or you're now longer in the field, or if that information is different, then that will change your award amount. But you do have to submit the application in the app or in the registry website to be able to get that payment.
Okay, thank you. So
Yeah.
you guys will notify us.
Yes. So
Oh.
you will get an email when your 6-month window is open, but it is based on the date your application was approved, your first application.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Great question. That's what I forgot to address was how to do the reapplication. So when you do come up for your 6 months, we are looking for verification of your income again. So a recent paycheck stub will do that, showing that you're still working full time and what your rate of pay is per hour. And we would, like I said, need to verify that your W-9 should still be the same, your address and Social Security number are the same, and then your your payment information, whether you'd want the check mailed to the same address, or now you want it direct deposited, or vice versa, where you don't want it direct deposited, you want it mailed. So you do have to verify that information also. So those 3 areas at the 6-month window. And you will get an email. Again, if your email address has changed and that email was what you used to create your account, you'd want to reach out to us if you haven't made the change yourself to help you make that change so that you do get that notice. Okay. What other questions do you have? Good question. Do you have anybody who hasn't done the award and they want, they don't know why? Why are they not submitting the application? Do they have questions as to why they're not submitting the application? Any of your co-workers?
Okay, if nobody's asking a questions, can I ask
Sure.
another question?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So this award, it's like, it's for every year or just like for this year only?
This is the first year, and we do have a contract with Children's Services Council to offer this for 3 years. So we want to show, that's why there's a survey when you do the application that's asking information about your experience as an educator and how income affects you in your day-to-day life. So we want to show our purpose is what we believed was that educators aren't making a lot of money. They may not feel as appreciated in the industry as we would like. And we thought that by providing a financial award that may encourage you to stay longer in the field and help the kids that we know that need the help, right? So we want you to answer the survey honestly. And they are committed to this program for 3 years to see what the difference is if teachers are more likely to stay in the industry or not. So we hope that you take advantage. We'd like as many people as possible to take advantage of it. We want the data as to the work that you're doing. We want to show an appreciation for you as educators and for the hard work that you do. So, yeah. We got to start somewhere. So this is our start. And it's in response to the loss of the COVID funding that we had, right? So for the past 5 years, we've had COVID mini grants and different things that were paid to the schools. And we heard a lot from many schools or many educators who would have preferred the payment go to themselves and not through the school. So this was a way to be able to do that, to pay the educator directly and get you rewarded for the work that you're doing and not have it go to the school because there isn't anything for the school at this point in time to give them for extra funding for educators.
I really thank you, and honestly,
thank
it helps
you.
a lot. Thank you so
Good.
much.
I'm glad. We thank you. We can't say thank you enough, and we certainly can't do this work without you. So we appreciate you, and we see you, and hopefully this is helpful. Who just started working? Yes, so somebody, Jesse, who did just start working. They do have to meet some minimum requirements, right? So they do, if they've just started working in the field completely and not done any of the training, they're not really going to qualify much for the STAR Award. So hopefully you as their employer are encouraging them to get their 45-hour training done so that they can qualify for that award. That would be about all they would qualify if they're brand new and haven't done anything and have no previous work history. But if they do have previous work history, then that can count towards their CSC Star Award. So we certainly can walk through that with somebody if you have somebody that you're questioning. But we're hoping that somebody brand new, this helps them move through that 45 hours quickly because you need it for licensing purposes. And then that gets them that award even sooner. Right. Yeah, thank you. Great question. What if a teacher decides to be a classroom assessor? So they're no longer working as a teacher, they wouldn't qualify for the award. So this is for educators that are working directly with children. If they are now just assessing classrooms, they wouldn't qualify for the award. So, Eliska, you're at 6 months working at your school? Is that what you're saying? Do you need in Spanish? Eliska, I think I did in Spanish. Or another language? It actually does more than Spanish if you wanted to change it to German, Chinese, you can. Other questions? Anything else I can help with?
Hello,
Yeah,
I have a hello,
sure.
I have a question, but I think you answered it.
Okay.
And it was for someone else. They're gonna have a different position in March, and they wanted to know will they qualify for it?
Oh, so coming up, they're changing. So they wouldn't qualify once they changed, but if they're currently working in an educator position, they could submit now and get the award. But once they move out of an educator role, they would no longer qualify.
Okay. Well, she already did
So if she's
the
already
first
in the
the
first
first.
round, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I did have a thought there for a second that I forgot now what it was. Well, it'll come back to me. So do family childcare home have to give an extra special letter? So I am working on income verification because you may end up at the 6 month mark of being in between filing your taxes. So I am working on a letter that you can submit to verify your hourly wage if you don't have a new tax form to give us. But right now, the as a family childcare home, you can use your tax documentation. We do have a document that you fill out, and I do have staff that can help you with that to calculate your hourly income so that we can show you qualify for the award. And then I will have another document for your 6 month mark for renewal. Um, and your sub could also qualify for the award as working with you at a family childcare home if they're working at least 10 hours for the month. So they also could qualify for the STAR award. Thank you. And I'll get that over to you, Yanet. There was something else I just was going to talk about, and it has left my brain. I can't think of what it was. Oh, I know what it was. So later on this month, if you have been a part of the Seek Scholarship application will be moving into the new registry website as well as their training calendar. So please share. We'll have some more information about that coming out. I know it's so true. And don't add the cold either. So we will have more information coming out about that. So Seek Scholarship applications as well as the registries, the registry, I'm sorry, the Institute of Excellence training calendar will be part of the new registry website. So you'll be able to sign up using the new registry. That's why we want everyone to move into the new system so that you have access to all these wonderful tools. So even if you don't apply for the CSC Star Award, if you take training, or you have other people that work with you that do any form of training or ever apply for Seek, they are more than welcome to create their registry account so they have access to all of that information. So please encourage them to make those registry accounts and get themselves set up. I'm going to try and schedule these on a regular basis. I do have one scheduled for a little bit later on in the month. I did want to ask if this time of the day was the best for everyone, or if there was a better time of day that you might like. That if you hadn't been able to attend this one, you would prefer it at a different time of day. I'll try to vary a little bit. I may put something at night. I don't know if that's any better. But if you could give me an idea of when people are able to attend, when they have free time, that would be great. I really need the feedback. So a 12:30 to 1:30. I would think the one I did for a little bit later was like 1 to 2. Okay. Eliska, el horario que tú puedes llamar para hablar con alguien en español es cualquier hora. Está abierto la oficina a 9 a 5 y puedes hablar con cualquier persona en español. Sure. Okay, great. Nicole, that's a good time too. I can do a special one for them if you'd like. We can do one if you want to share. I can set that up and share with you the link so we can do that with them. I'll be happy to do that. And I'll put together a presentation. I do better with a visual, and I just did not have a chance to put that together for this one, but I will put together something so that you have some visual reminders. So 1 to 2, Jesse, is a good time. Do you think anyone would want to attend in the evening, like a 6 to 7 or a 7 to 8? Do you think anyone that would appeal to anyone? Or a Saturday? Everyone's so busy. I assume everyone has families and life outside of school, and classes. So I'm trying to make sure that we accommodate as best we can. I'll put the option out there, and we'll see based on these meetings what works best for everyone, and we'll get something else out in the future. But we will have this up on our YouTube, provided I did everything right, because extra things going on here. So hopefully everything went through this the right way. Any other questions I can help with? Anything come up that you are very confused about or sort of confused about? If you've had a change, occasionally we do have checks come back to the office, and we are doing a verification for bank deposits. So we haven't had, only it was very odd that the bank deposit didn't go in, but we do get checks returned. So if you do have a change in your address, please encourage staff to contact us with that as well, so that we can update the system. Sometimes checks do come back and we're reaching out to people to try and get them their payment. Sometimes they get lost in the mail. So we won't know you didn't get it until we reconcile the bank account, which could be a couple months out. Please know that most of our payments are going out within 30 days of your approval date. So they're going out really regularly, but at the very latest, if you haven't gotten it within 30 days since your application has been approved, please encourage them to reach out to us so that we can put a trace and see what happened with the payment. So 1 to 2, I see. Oh, good. I'm glad. I will, like I said, the one at the end of the month, these will all be Q&A sessions. So I don't foresee a ton of changes. You don't have to come to all of them, like I said, and I will vary the times a little bit. So it's really just to get your questions answered. If you have other staff that want to come on, if you have more questions that I'm not able to get to directly or the team isn't able to answer, we'll have these sessions going on. Hello. All right. So we have not yet done the videos. That is something that's in the works. Right now, I just sort of have a technical paper with the steps, but it is something that we are working on doing now about getting the account set up. That's on my to-do list, Nicole. And I think they'll be helpful too. I think we can do them in a quick format and get them done. And you can do both the website through the registry and go into the Star Award, but there is also an app that you can download through the Apple Play Store and Google Play Store called CSC Star Award. And that does put an app on your phone and allow you to access your Star Award application at any time. So we'll talk about that too in our videos. Quite a few people do like the app. It does allow you that way to sort of like use your phone to take pictures and upload those documents directly into your application. The nice part about the training calendar going into the new registry site is when you do complete a training that's listed on the registry site, that class will now go automatically onto your transcript for your future star award in your registry account. You won't have to turn around and re-upload that certificate. So that's part of the functionality that we're really excited about for the new registry, that your training that you do through that website will automatically show up on your transcript. The app is actually called CSC Star Award. I have it on my phone. Let me see. It has a little, hold on. If you do in this Play Store, if you search, it has a, says CSC Star, and it's a little blue, and it has the stars going up. So if you just type in to the Play Store CSC Star, you should get the ability to download the app onto your phone. If you have an Apple phone, the same way. It works the same with Apple and with Android phones. Hi, Digna. Any other questions I can answer? Other support I can give? It's nice to see you all. Thank you for taking the time out to join me today. Thank you. We will have the recording on our YouTube page later on today. So that's available to you and your staff. And on my to-do list are my videos. And then Nicole, yes. Yes, give me a call, Nicole, and then we can do both of those things. We can talk about, I don't want to talk about a person on here, but if you want to give me a call, we can talk about that person, and then I can set you up with a meeting for your staff. But some ideas of some dates. Yes. So if you don't have any questions, thank you so much for joining me. Please share with your friends. If they have questions, they need support, please feel free to reach out to the team. You can always get someone in English, Spanish, or Haitian Creole. We do offer all three languages. They're available anytime during the day. Phone number again is 561-214-8000. Press 2 and then 5 for the team directly. Or the email is cscstar.award@elcpalmbeach.org. All right, and I can type that in, but I see the translation going through. But it's the team is available. They're quick on the email. You can actually text them also, but that's the easiest way. They may reply to you in text. But thank you. Please enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. Thank you so much for your work. We see you. We appreciate you. We can't do this without you. So thank you again.